Sometimes you like to get into a good rhythm when you're doing the platform. Like, in my opinion, there is no sport better to talk about than the NFL. Good morning, everybody. There's no better sport to talk about than the National Football League. I keep saying I don't care about the NBA. I don't. I don't. Baseball, I do care about, but we're about to do baseball in a second. Uh, Baseball, I do care about, and I care about it a lot. The problem is the audience doesn't care about it. Okay, and that's the problem. They still talking about the bullshit Olympics, and trust me, that Olympics was bullshit. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. It was crap. You couldn't. You might as well blow my head off than watch the Olympics. I'm dead serious about that. Now let's get to it. Um, what's today's date? 25th. So we're talking yesterday. Okay, let's do the finals. Colorado beat the Yankees 9-2. Cooled them off a little bit. Toronto's about to go 7-0. I see Toronto beating the Angels today. They'll go 7-0 this year against the Angels. Baltimore won a big game, two in a row over the Astros. Now Milwaukee continues to roll. I mean, if they can catch the Dodgers, they could do. Speaking of that, did you see? What's it? Was it MLB? I think it was MLB. Put in gigantic numbers last night. Dodgers are 75-50, best record in baseball. Who the f cares? Let's see what they do. Okay, okay, okay. We'll see what they do in 5 weeks. Okay. All right. San Francisco came back to beat Seattle, which let's just call it what it is. Seattle is getting ready to do a major house cleaning. They'd already fired Scott Service. They're going to do a major house cleaning. The Arizona continues to roll for the one. They are now three. I believe they are 4-2, 6-2 on this East Coast trip. They'll play the Mets on Tuesday. Dodgers next weekend. Okay, we'll see something from both of those teams in the West next weekend as the Dodgers visit Arizona. What else? Twins shout out the Cardinals. Cardinals another team about to blow it up. Uh, Phillies big win last night for them. Disappointing crowds in Kansas City with a good team. All right, Indians bounce back and crush the. It's going to be soon not to be champions. The Texas Rangers. Atlanta wins last night. Mets. Okay, that's a big win for the Mets to go to San Diego 7-1. So the Mets right now are doing pretty good on this road trip. Oh, Tampa Bay won last night. Excuse me. Yeah, I fell asleep last night. That game was going on. 9-8 Tampa over the Dodgers. All they kept showing all goddamn day was Otani's grand slam. Let me see something. What's today? 25th. So let me look at Monday's schedule. All right, big showdown, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, too. I'll watch that. Uh, Indians and Royals. Phillies and Astros. Another big series for the Phillies. They have played the most brutal 40 games in a row I've ever seen. And the Indians are worse. They're going to finish the year playing the last 60 games good teams. Right, Yankees are at the Nationals. Nationals supposed to be bringing up their best hitting prospect for this game on Monday to sell tickets. Blue Jays, Red Sox, no one cares. Braves, Twins. I'll tell you, Braves, every time you look up, they're playing a good team. They're in Minneapolis tomorrow night. Padres and Cardinals tomorrow night. It's like almost everybody plays tomorrow, which is good for baseball. Tuesday night, uh, Giants are at the Brewers. And like I told you guys, the Mets are in Arizona and the Orioles are at Dodger Stadium. So we got some good series this week coming up. All right, let's get to it. First of all, the National Football League has been a disgrace. These are some of the worst preseason games I have ever seen in my life. I mean, you're playing a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of scrubs that no one cares about. I mean, let's just call it like it is. Other than their friends and their family, no one cares about these games. You know who the stars are, you know who's starting, all that BS. But I think it's kind of crazy, right? Now, I'm going to be fair. A lot of these people who go to those games, they get tickets passed down by their friends, their neighbors to take the kids, and the kids love it because they don't know better. Little kids don't know better. So let's be a little fair here, okay? Let's be a little fair. But for the die-hard, good morning, whoever popped in the clouds. For the die-hard football fan, this has been a disgrace. It really has been. I mean, you want to be given at least a half of good football. And instead, these teams play scared. Oh, I don't want to get hurt. You want to make a bet? Big name players will get hurt in the first 3 weeks of the season. Trey Lance threw 5 picks yesterday. I'm glad I didn't see this game. Thank God I didn't. Says, damn, Trey Lance. Oh, I've seen enough of Trey Lance baffling. Threw 5 picks yesterday. That is unacceptable. He played the whole game yesterday. 2 touchdowns, 5 picks, 323 passing yards, completed 67.3 at disgrace. Cowboys should cut him on Monday. They still talking about Russell Wilson everywhere. I shake my head when I see that. All right, Jim Harbaugh applauded Justin Herbert and a couple other starters who were stuck in a Dallas hotel elevator for 2 hours. Tell you, when it rains, it pours on the city of Dallas. Can't make this shit up. Let me see what else. I mean, these people are talking about Bryce Young like he rediscovered the passing game. Folks, he was playing against third and fourth string defensive players. I hope you know that. So before you go to your fantasy drafts, unless you're a stupid losing Panther fan, you better realize that he was playing against bums yesterday. Okay? All right, Doug Peterson taking shots at the Patriots because they got rid of Mac Jones too early. That's going to be interesting. I don't know. I'm thinking in 2 weeks. I gotta look at the schedule. Then I'll let you know because I'm not feeling Anthony Richardson, folks. I'm just not. Like Seahawks are raving how their team looks. Best game of the night, and I was asleep. 37-33. That's what you're supposed to give us in exhibition. Right. Metcalf with a big catch. Gino looking good. Seahawk crowd. Seahawk! Seahawk! As the 12s was excited. Ah, so Geno Smith looked good last night. I was asleep. The Jahan Dotson trade, how could you not love it for Philly? The only team that could beat Philly in the NFC is San Francisco if they beat the Chiefs. If the Niners beat the Chiefs, I really believe San Francisco will not only get back to the Super Bowl, they'll win it. They lose to the Chiefs, all bets are off. But I love what Howie Roseman did again. All right, Dan Bland will miss 6 to 8 weeks. The overrated Deron Brand, I might add. The same Deron Brand I saw Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Geno Smith exploited at the end of the year. Same guy. So Blonde is out. Dotson, that was a great move by Howie Roseman, gave up a third. Media in love with, of course, their boy, um, CJ Stroud. Let me take a look at college football on Saturday. Let me take a good look. Clemson is at Georgia on Saturday. Wow. I mean, back in the 90s, that was a huge rivalry. It was Clemson and Georgia, Clemson and Auburn. Georgia Tech upsets Florida State. So Florida State got a big strike, one against them. Can't be losing to Georgia Tech. I don't give a damn if the game is at the moon. All right. Let me do this real quick. All right. They called this week 0. Week 1 is next week. A lot of teams playing on Thursday night. Thank God I'm off Thursday night. All right. Clemson at Georgia, Penn State at West Virginia. Miami at Florida. We'll preview that game. We'll also do Clemson at Georgia. I love these type of games, folks. Now, all you have to do is win 9 games. You're in the playoffs, especially you play in the SEC and the Big Ten. Everybody's playing on Saturday, folks. Your night game is Notre Dame at Texas A&M, College Station. Fresno State's at national champion Michigan. USC's at LSU. Then the Monday night game is BC at Florida State. So that's the way it's looking this weekend. So college football is ready to roll. As a baseball fan, I'm not sure if you ever watched the Little League. Of course, I've watched the Little League World Series. Let me tell you something. You get more injuries at the beginning of the year. Morning darkness. You get more injuries early in the year, Tony, because a lot of these teams don't play their star players. Yeah. So again, college football, it's a whole new day in college football. And if you don't play in the SEC or the Big Ten, you're gonna have a hard time. Even if you win your conference, you're gonna have a hard time getting into the tournament, to the playoffs, because they're gonna look at your strength of schedule. And that's why they had a beef with Florida State last year. And I tried to tell people this. But when you have a group of fools up here thinking they know everything, you just let them blab on. But folks, September the 13th, we're gonna change all that. And I don't want to hear from nobody. I don't want to hear no goddamn NBA. I don't want to hear about, we'll talk pennant race baseball. I just don't want to hear from these people. Okay?
Hey, Uncle, what's up?
Nothing much. I'm just looking at this college football schedule, the way it
Yeah.
is now compared to all the past years.
Oh, and for me, Uncle, with the injury question that I had in my head, what I'm thinking, I blame the lack of them changing the rules on practices. Having less practices, I think, is causing these like physical contact practices is causing these injuries too.
Oh, yeah, you read about that. That's a good point by you, Tony. Yeah, that's true. It's
I don't
true.
know how, like, I understand it's for player safety, but you need to realize I think it was I think taking away the physical contact practices or limiting them, it didn't backfire on the NFL, but the player safety thing is actually causing more injuries than it actually is. Like it's causing more injuries than it's actually preventing. Do you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Because you're seeing more. You never saw a lot of. You saw every once in a while that players would get injured with hamstring injuries, but now you see like the majority of these injuries are hamstring or like muscle injuries. Have you noticed that?
Yep, I totally noticed that.
And in the
You
chat,
make
I
an
said
excellent point.
in the chat, I said it's hilarious how Florida State fan made fun of us for losing to Georgia Tech last year. They just did
Yeah,
it too. So Florida State fans don't have any legs to stand on, making fun of Hurricanes fans for losing to Georgia Tech when they just did it last. And they're going to use the excuse that they have to fly 4 hour, have a, I think it's 7 hour flight, 7 or 6 hour flight to Ireland, and they had to get used to it. I'm like, no, don't use that excuse.
that was a horrible loss for Florida State.
Was it was the game close or
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Let me take a look. 24-21 Georgia Tech.
okay? Yeah, yeah, it was a close game. Yeah, and to be honest, I think the first 3 weeks of the season for college football is gonna be crazy. You're gonna see a lot of dream matchups. I think Oregon and Michigan play in the third. I think Oregon and Michigan play week 3 because I think you previewed the schedule the first 3 weeks. You were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
On October 19th, Ohio State in Eugene against the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
That is a huge game.
Is Washington? When does Washington play Michigan? Do you know? Do you have the schedule?
Yeah, I got it right here.
What are the big games in the Big Ten?
Well, week 3, you got Alabama at Wisconsin.
Alabama better. Camp Randall is a hard place to play.
Hell yeah. And I'll say it now. If Wisconsin wins that game, they're the first team in the playoffs.
You think so?
In this new league, all you need is 9 wins. That's all you need to make the playoffs, especially you in the Big Ten and the SEC. That's how they set it up.
Yeah, and to me, let's be honest. I'm going to talk about the ACC. Whoever wins the ACC and the Big 12 are screwed. I agree with you.
Yeah.
They're screwed. But it's not
But they're not guaranteed anything.
Yeah, they're not guaranteed anything, even though they're a conference champion. And Uncle, can you blame them for not like? Can you blame the SEC and the ACC and Big 12 champions for beating who they beat? It's not their fault. Their conferences, most of the teams are in the middle of a rebuild. It's not their fault.
I think the teams, Penn State, Wisconsin, I don't know about Michigan, but I know Penn State, Wisconsin, Oregon, Ohio State, they're going to make the playoffs.
How about Washington?
They're the wild card in all this because no one's talking about them.
How about USC or UCLA?
Nah.
They're not ready yet?
They don't have a quarterback, really.
Oh, yeah. USC just lost Caleb Williams, and UCLA, they lost DTR.
Yeah.
I think the SEC is going to be. I think there's going to be more 9-win teams in the SEC than the Big Ten, because the Big Ten is more top heavy. The SEC is more consistent throughout. Like, you agree with me, or am I?
No, you're right. But the one thing, though, every year, who got left out of the big bowl games? Wisconsin and Penn State. Now with this new system, they're going to get in every year.
So you think Miami has to go into the Big Ten in order to get respect?
Yes.
And
Wisconsin beats Alabama. They can lose to Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State. They're going to
make. Don't they play? Wait, don't they play Notre Dame this year too? Doesn't Wisconsin have Notre Dame on their schedule?
I'm gonna find out right now. And that's another problem. Notre Dame is the wild card notice. They go 9-3. They're in it.
No, I think Notre Dame has to go undefeated, to be honest.
Nah, but the way they're doing this now, Tony, who brings eyeballs to the set? And I told you this last year. Me and you got into a big disagreement. Mike Gundy don't bring no one to the set.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Let me get Wisconsin.
And wait, and you said you think Michigan is in the middle of a rebuild?
I think they're in the beginning, yeah. Yeah, I think they're in the beginning of one. All right, Wisconsin plays Alabama, USC. I'm just telling you the good teams they play. At Penn State, Iowa, they play Oregon at home. A lot of people like Nebraska this year. I don't, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, no, I'm in the middle with Nebraska. I'm a wait and see with Nebraska, to be honest.
So Wisconsin's schedule is tough. It's tough.
Wait, do they play Ohio State this year?
No,
Or they
they
don't play
play Penn.
with? So they don't.
They
They
play
only have
Penn
Penn
State.
State. They only have Penn State. They don't have Michigan or Ohio State because they usually have all three of
Exactly.
them.
Exactly.
They have to play the new guys in the coming into the conference. Is that what
Yes.
it is?
Yep.
Wait, you said they have Oregon on their schedule?
Yeah, second to last game at
Are
Camp
any
Randall.
are any of the perennial powers in the Big Ten playing Washington?
I'm gonna find out for you right now because that's where I was going to look at the schedule next. I think this new league, like playoff system, it kills the Big 12
And the
and the AC.
ACC. Yeah, it's get force teams in the Big Ten or the Big 12 or ACC to actually
Get in.
have back channel conversations with the SEC or Big Ten to get into the conference.
Yeah.
I think Clemson's already getting like I think Clemson gets into the SEC.
That's up to this guy, man, because he's not gonna get NIL players.
Dabo is too arrogant. Like I don't know what the hell's wrong. He's
No,
gonna
he
be like
what you call it. No, Tony, he believes in
recruiting.
fairness. Yeah. I tip my cap to Dabo Sweeney. All right.
No, but
Washington is home for Michigan. They're at Iowa. They're at Indiana. Home for USC. At Happy Valley. And at Oregon.
This is Washington.
Yeah. They
Wait,
play
you said they
nobody
play.
first half of the season.
So wait, you say they're at Happy Valley or they're going to Eugene?
No, they're going to Eugene
Okay.
and Happy Valley. They're going to both.
Oh, so it's a home at home thing.
Both of them they play on the road. They play at Oregon. That's their last game. And 2 weeks before that, they play at Penn State. They got a winnable schedule if they can beat Michigan. Because they don't play nobody. I don't consider Rutgers anybody. I don't consider Washington State good because the quarterback is playing now for the Hurricanes. The schedule, and this is how they screwed the Big 12 and ACC. The schedule always favored the Big 10 and the SEC because they play against each other.
Yeah, and like I said, can you blame the conference champions of the ACC and SEC that they're and the Big 12 that the team like it's not their fault that the conference is like is bad. Like I blame the commissioner for not like trying to those commissioners for not bringing in big teams early on.
I agree. I agree with it. I think they did a big screw job on the ACC and the Big 12.
Yeah, no, and I blame Jim Phillips with the whole Notre Dame thing. He let them walk over him. He basically allowed them to stay independent and not be permanently in the conference.
Facts. I agree with that. Speaking of Notre Dame, since I got them right here, let's see who
Their
they
schedule is going to be really tough because I think they have a ton of SEC teams on their schedule. Since they're independent, they can choose who they face every year.
at A&M. The Purdue game will not be easy. Florida State already has a big strike against them. They don't. Hey Tony, they don't play nobody.
Florida State?
No, Notre Dame. I'm looking at them right here. Texas A&M. Okay, they're not nothing special. Northern Illinois, Purdue, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy. They always find a way to lose to Navy. Uh, Florida State goes to Notre Dame. Virginia, Army, USC. Notre Dame's going to win 11 games, Tony.
But you don't, even though
They're
their
going to be in
strengths,
the playoffs. The Irish is going to be in the playoffs.
even though they have a weak schedule.
Yeah, because they bring eyeballs to the set. Is Notre Dame.
You don't think that's what makes me mad? Miami would bring eyeballs to the set.
Depends.
Huh?
They lose to Florida, Tony. That is one of the worst losses they will have in a long time. They lose to Florida.
Honestly, I don't think we lose to Florida. I think we go into. I know Mario has a tendency to lose a game that he's not supposed to, but I think honestly we go into Florida and blow them out at the Swamp.
Everybody likes their quarterback, though. Everybody likes Florida's quarterback, and they love Cam Ward.
Since you're an old school football fan for college, did you see that the former coach for Colorado, the one from the 90s, is having health issues now?
McCarthy?
Yeah, McCarthy.
I wish him the best.
Is that Mike McCarthy?
No.
Or is it like Paul or something?
Oh, what's McCartney's name? I think it's
Was that the last time Colorado was good, in your honest opinion?
Yes, in the 90s. They were dominant in the 90s.
And it's crazy. The last time I can remember Nebraska being good was in the 90s too, right?
Yeah, they way fell off.
The same thing with
Miami. Their big game, besides Florida,
is Florida State.
Now, Florida State got lost now. You can't be losing to Georgia Tech. At Louisville, rematch with Georgia Tech. Miami could go undefeated. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They can go undefeated.
Yeah.
If they go undefeated, the question is, what seed are they? Are they going to be the top 4 and get a bye? Or are they going to be the 5th seed, host the game, and then go play somebody in a bowl game? Miami goes undefeated. They're going to be the 4th or 5th seed.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think they get the 5th seed because they're going to get, honestly, they're going to give a one-loss SEC team.
Tony, I could tell you right now, the only team in the SEC that can go one loss is Georgia. Everybody else is going to lose 2 or 3.
You don't think a Texas makes it in?
Let me take a look at Texas' schedule. I just know competition is fierce. And that's the beautiful thing about this regular season. It is going to matter, folks. When you're a college football fan, you
For
should
you as a
really
fan, what was the
enjoy
last time you can remember,
what's about to happen.
like, as a college football fan, and when was the last time you can remember where you didn't know who was going to win either conference for the Big Ten or the
It's been a
SEC?
while.
It was
Been a
always
while.
Alabama. We know that.
All right. This is Texas' schedule. Colorado State, that's a good team. At Michigan, they should win. Texas San Antonio is good, but they're playing that game in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
UL Monroe, they should beat. Mississippi State, they should beat. Then they got Oklahoma, the Red River. And they got Georgia going to Austin. I like that.
Wait. Are they facing? Is Mississippi State Hugh Freeze or Lane Kiffin?
I guess it's Hugh Breeze. Kiffin is Ole Miss. And I got them making the playoffs.
So would you say the bottom, like the, would you say like from 10 to 12 are almost like wild card teams in the SC in the NFL kind of?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Can you imagine if a wild card team makes it all the way to the
That's the way it's supposed to be. I was saying this the other night. I can easily see a team like Wisconsin, Penn State in the championship game.
against like a Georgia or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, Texas got a tough schedule. But a lot
Does
of the
Oklahoma?
tough games
How about Oklahoma? Do they have a tough schedule, or are they actually one of the more like weaker schedules?
I never pay attention to Oklahoma because to me Oklahoma is falling off. I'll take a look.
I don't know what it is with Oklahoma. Ever since not Lincoln, ever since Bob Stoops left, Oklahoma's been very inconsistent.
I agree with that. I agree with you. All right, Oklahoma. Home for Texas. Home for Temple. Home for Houston. Home for Tulane. Home for Tennessee. They should get off to a 4-0 start. Then at Auburn, Texas,
You don't
South
trust
Carolina.
Tennessee?
At
Wait,
Auburn.
you don't have
Yeah,
faith in
again?
Tennessee? You don't have faith in Tennessee?
No.
Is it because of the young quarterback?
They can get in. They can get in.
They would be one of the wild card teams, I think. Tennessee.
Well, let me ask you this. In your opinion, who's better, Tennessee or Missouri?
Tennessee's better, I think.
Okay.
Missouri.
I think Missouri. I think Missouri is loaded.
They have way too many young players in critical positions. That's the issue with Missouri, in my opinion. I like Missouri. I want to, but they have like freshmen in critical positions, like offensive tackle, tackle, pass rusher, and the majority of their, besides one of their corners, like their right corner, the rest of them are freshmen. The two safeties are freshmen. So is the left corner. The right corner is the veteran of that group, but the rest of them are freshmen, and the whole linebacker core is freshmen. Even though they're loaded, doesn't that worry you that the critical positions are basically all young players?
Yeah, but if they're bringing back the same quarterback, they should be fine.
Oh yeah, if they had the veteran quarterback, it doesn't really matter.
All right, week 2, it's on a Saturday night, believe it or not. NC State goes to Tennessee. That is a huge game for the ACC. They have to win that game.
If NC State goes into Tennessee and beats them,
That's
does
a
that?
big plus for the ACC. And those are the most important games. When you go up against an SEC or Big Ten school, those are the big games if you're in the ACC or the Big 12.
Yeah, I think next year for Miami, I think we play Texas, and from the Big Ten, I think we have an or I think we have like Michigan or Ohio State. I can't remember next year who we like for out of conference games. I think we have two big teams from the Big Ten and SEC. I think we're playing Texas next year at a
Tony, you may be right because if Tennessee wins in Oklahoma and they beat Florida, then Alabama, these are all their home games. They got like 5 home games in a row. And then they got at Georgia, and their
the
last
Georgia
two
game is
games.
going to be a blowout. I think Georgia blows them out. To be honest,
If they can get those wins until they play Georgia, they're gonna have a good chance to make it.
not
I
as a
think
wild card, but as maybe a
a wild card. I think Georgia's gonna run crazy after what happened last year.
yeah. They honestly Georgia to me was the one that had more of a legitimate argument than Florida State
I agree.
because
I agree with that.
they lost to an Alabama by 1 point. I think right.
Yeah. Yep.
I think no. What I was saying, I think what's going to benefit Miami the next 2 years, they have home at home games with multiple Big Ten and SEC teams next year. If they stay in the
That's
SEC,
what you said is absolutely correct because to really, if you're in the ACC and the Big 12, you have to schedule games against the SEC and the Big Ten. You have to.
yeah, because I think we have next year we have two a Big Ten. We have a home at home. I think with Wisconsin next year
Yeah.
for the Big Ten. And for the SEC, I think it's a home at home against Texas or Oklahoma. I can't remember which team it is for the SEC.
Yeah.
And that would help our strength of schedule depending on where we put if we place them at the end of the season, it would be good. To be honest, I think the ACC should get their conference schedule out of the way early in the season, and then have their like non-conference games, like their tough non-conference games at the end of the season. In my honest opinion, that helps their strength of schedule if they get their what is it called their conference schedule from week 1 to week
All right.
from
Next year, uh, this is the Miami schedule. Home for USF home for Florida, home for Notre Dame.
I thought we have a big SEC team. Like I thought we had a home at home with one of the constant champions of the SEC or Big Ten next year. I
Let me
thought it
tell
was
you
like
right now,
Alabama. I thought it was Bama or someone or Georgia.
the Hurricanes beat Florida, Notre Dame, and at Tallahassee alone. They're going to make the playoffs.
I think
Louisville at home. In
by the
spirit.
time for me by this time next year, I think Miami's already in the Big Ten.
Miami don't play nobody in 25.
Nobody
Nobody.
is our does our. Did they already show? Did they already release their 2026 schedule?
I'll let you know right now.
Because because I know we have a home at home in 2026 with Bama. I think it is, or Georgia. I can't remember who it is.
Let you know in a second.
They're gonna. The Falcons to me are gonna have to give the ball to Bijan because they have a rookie quarterback starting.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the Falcons. Uh, at South Carolina, this is in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Florida A&M, Central Michigan, at Clemson, Boston College, Florida State, Pitt, Virginia Tech, at North Carolina, at Stanford, and they finished the year at Notre Dame. They don't play nobody.
So our schedule is weak the next 2 years.
Yes,
It's not until I bet you it's not until 2027 is when you see our schedule get tough with playing like SEC teams or something like that, or
I can see that.
which
Yo, Iman, what's up, family? Iman in the building.
hey Iman, what are your thoughts on your Giants, Iman?
Now, you know what he's going to be saying.
Do I even have to ask?
Don't have to ask. Mine's a trip.
Would you
Iman,
say
in the building.
is Bijan what you would consider a bell cow running back, or is he more of a change of pace guy?
I think he's a bell cow. Coach last year was an idiot. That's why he's in Pittsburgh instead of keeping the Falcon job. I knew
Oh,
none of that worked on.
Arthur Smith is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, offense coordinator. Yeah. Good to see you, Iman. Darkness. Yeah. He's
Oh, hey
in.
Uncle, did you see that back and forth between Flores and Tua?
I have different opinions. At first, I said, all right, Tua got his feelings off. Okay, fine. But now that I think about it deep, and a lot of players and executives are going the way of Brian Flores, I think Tua almost cost a good man his career just because he couldn't handle a coach yelling at him all the time. Now, see, the Miami media is soft, so of course they're going to side with Tua. The rest of the country is now rallying around Brian Flores about it.
Yeah, no, and to me, like when I saw that interview, that Tua interview, I'm like, dude, let sleeping dogs lie. Don't say anything. Like I blame whoever. Uh,
Lebatard.
I blame Levitard. Don't ask him that question. Now you're making him even have more of a bigger victim complex than he already had.
Exactly. But this is my response. Get over it. Flores got over it. Flores said he was wrong. You're making $212 million. Do the fan base a favor. Win a goddamn playoff game. Until then, keep your mouth shut. No one wants to hear from you.
Yeah, and see, and this is where I've been saying this. I think giving him this contract is a mistake, a real mistake. It's gonna backfire on the Dolphins.
Well, Tony, and I said this and I predicted this was going to happen. They paid him not to win Super Bowls, Tony.
To
They
entertain.
paid him to entertain fans who go to the 80% of fans who got the good seats in the lower 100 section. And um, let me let this ambulance go over. And the people who sit in the 72 undefeated section.
Yeah.
They told Ross and Tom Garfunkel, if we're not going to win, can we be entertaining at least?
And this is why I'm focusing on Justin Herbert and what Jim Harbaugh is gonna do.
Yeah, speaking of Harbaugh, let me show you this. You're going to love this. This is tomorrow night's show. You're going to like this.
Did Harbaugh say
Where is
something
it at?
stupid?
No, you're just going to like this. This is for you and all the Harbaugh fans right here. That's tomorrow night's show.
Big Jim, Big Jim is back. Big Jimbo is back, and the AFC is on notice. And
Yeah.
and what's scarier is Herbert has already beaten Patrick Mahomes like 3 times in his career, right?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
And Herbert is not scared of. I think to me, he's probably the only one of the few quarterbacks in the AFC that can go shot for shot with Mahomes.
But remember what I told you, and Harbaugh's not playing. He's taking the ball out of his hands.
So there's not really going to be a lot of passing from him.
Exactly. Larry
There's going to be
H,
a
what's up, brother? What do I think about Tua's new contract? Larry, I really don't care, and I'm not giving you that answer to be dismissive, but I understand why they did it because they haven't won in 51 years, and fans would rather be entertained in Miami than
actually
care
winning.
about Super Bowl. So for the Dolphins, it was a win-win. For Tua, it was a win. For 80% of the fan base who loved the Marino era when Marino was playing for nothing but putting numbers up, they win. The losers are the 20% fan. Those are the fanboys who have these platforms. I'll drop names in the future. They're the biggest losers because when your owner, your fans who pay the hard-earned money, that they care about being entertained more than winning. This is what you get.
No. Most of these channels, Uncle, they go to the games.
Do they sit in the 100 section?
Yes, they do.
I don't know what to say. Herbert might as well be throwing to me this year. All his receivers are gone. Yeah, it's true.
And
Harbaugh
honestly, I
is
think
under that rock.
Herbert. To me, Herbert. I think Herbert's talent is going to benefit from the play action, in my honest opinion, off the running game.
I totally agree with you, Tom. I
Because
agree with
honestly, this is why I kind of hated that idiot. What's his face?
which guy?
Mr. Kiss Ass.
Brandon Staley?
Yeah, Mr. Fanboy. How he got a head coaching job surprises me.
Well, you know the right people. People rather be safe with a nobody than with a somebody. And Spanos doing this to Jim Harbaugh, best money he's ever spent in his life.
Spanos finally took his head out of his ass and
Of
hired
course
an
he did.
actual coach.
Of course he did.
Ever
98 in the building.
the last great coach they had was Schottenheimer.
Mm. I'm gonna go with Bobby Ross because he took them to their only Super Bowl.
Was that the one in the '90s with Fouts?
No, Fauci never made it. Stan Humphries,
What the hell? Never heard that name before.
the pudgy quarterback that some people felt was what that cookie from Keebler, the Fudge Boy. Yeah, that's what everybody called him.
Oh, the Keebler Elf.
Yes, not the elf. Like they said that he was
Oh,
the
Fudgy the
Fudge
Whale.
Cookie.
Fudgy the Whale.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. To this day, Charger fans worship the ground he walks on. And that was a hell of an AFC championship game. I think it was like 68 degrees in Pittsburgh that day in late January. He threw a bomb to Tony Martin for the game-winning touchdown. Then they stopped what's his face in the goal line stand, Barry
What year?
Foster.
What year was this?
94. Only real fans know the dedication of going to games faithfully. You ain't lying, knowing you are going to lose. Vols post greatest show on turf years in St. Louis when Kroenke was planning on moving to team was brutal. You was out there in St. Louis, Larry? Damn. Wow. I know this. Those days, man. I don't know what to tell you. That Humphreys, everybody, a blast from the past. You could always catch him at the La Jolla Country Club, most expensive country club in the world to join, playing golf every day for the rest of his life. You was a big season ticket holder of the Rams. How did it feel that they came out of nowhere with Kurt Warner and killed everybody? Let me know about that. That's what happened to the Rams. They were the worst team the entire decade of the '90s, and then Frank Green got hurt, and the next thing you know, the supermarket backpacker came out of nowhere, and the Rams were unbeatable. Unbeatable.
Uncle, in terms of a team in the NFL, is there anybody you can see possibly repeating the same performances that the Great Show on Turf did back then? Is there
Houston.
Houston?
I think Houston's ridiculous.
No, I was to me. I was gonna say Miami with Tyreek
Miami
and
got to win a playoff game, Tony. Until then, no
no,
one
no,
takes.
no, no, no. I'm talking about in terms of the stats. I think Miami could do, with who they have on their offense with
Yeah, but
Tyreek.
Tony, how come? And this is why nobody takes the Dolphins seriously.
Yeah,
How come they can't do it against good teams?
yeah. No, I've said this multiple times. I don't care that they're doing this against teams that haven't been in the playoffs for like 40 years and stuff like that. Do this against teams who are like the
December
pack.
29th. December 29th. If they are good, go to Cleveland where the temperature's going to be 4 degrees at 9 o'clock at night, Sunday night football. Go to Cleveland.
For me, the one that scares me the most is the Packers game. I think that's in the middle of December, right?
That is on Thanksgiving night.
Around around Thanksgiving and Christmas is when you see the temperature. Thanksgiving and the beginning of December is when you
Here you
start
go.
seeing the temperatures
Since,
plummet in Green Bay.
since you asked for it, we'll give it to you.
I have a
We'll give
friend
it
who
to you.
lives up in that area, like in Wisconsin, and he's saying, "By you guys better hope by the by the Thanksgiving night that the temperatures stay even at like 30 degrees or whatever, that it doesn't plummet below -degrees."
Oh,
In
my own schedule. This is incredible when I saw this. Let me get. Here we go. We're gonna skip the easy games, folks, because the first. Okay, I pressed the AFC piece. Oh, here we go. No, I don't want that. I want the other one. Give me the other one. What Dolphins at? Here we go. I'm gonna skip from. I got it right. Here
Yo,
we go.
Vader, what's up?
Yo, Vader,
Larry,
pull up. Hold up.
Uncle Larry H brought a name up I never heard before. George Frontera.
That was the great offense. That was a great time. Best offense I've ever seen in your lifetime. Rest in peace, Georgia Frontier. She was the owner. That is true. Dolphin fans, they don't miss Don Shula. To them, he didn't exist. So, Larry, you want to
Which
pull up? Pull up, bro. Send the link out. Let's get to the Dolphins. Where is that?
wait. Did I hear you correctly, Uncle? That you say Dolphins fans don't think Don Shula exists?
The way they talk? All right, week 9 at Buffalo, week 10 at the Rams on Monday Night Football. I'll skip the Raiders and the Patriots. All right, this is the Dolphins the rest of the way, their last 6 games. At Lambeau, Thanksgiving night against the Packers. To me, the two biggest games on the schedule for Miami, because I think this team is going to be real good. Jets at home, at Houston, San Francisco at home. Like I said, Sunday night football, it'll probably be 3 degrees in Cleveland especially that Cleveland plays right next to the lake. And then at the Jets, where it's going to be like here, January, probably going to be like 26 degrees. So
Yeah,
there you go for Miami.
yeah. No, and Green Bay's temperatures give on
It's going to
Thanksgiving
be
Day.
cold in Lambeau. I can tell you that.
Yes, no, cold is an understatement. It's gonna be horrendous. My friend says, he lives up in that area. He says in Wisconsin around November and December, it starts getting under negative degree weather. Like it's gonna be -3 degrees by that -4 or 5 degrees by the time that game happens.
I think it's going to be worse in Cleveland.
You think so?
Yeah. If the Browns are playing for something, oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's hope Mike McDaniel finally uses the running game consistently.
You know what's the problem with the Dolphins running game? And I've been saying this. It's not physical enough. They got all finesse speed guys.
The young kid they drafted is a power back.
No, he's not. Mike McDaniel don't believe in power backs.
No, but no, my mistake. He's not a power. He's not purely finesse. He has to be. He's not like Moser and A-Chain. This kid, in order to be a running back for Tennessee, you have to be physical and run between the tackles. The kid was running between the tackles. If you see his highlights at Tennessee coming into the draft, the kid
Yeah, I
was
saw.
running. Yeah, he was running between the tackles most of the
Like,
time.
so like I said about the Dolphins, weeks 9 and 10, 11 and 12, they got the Raiders and they got New England. From Green Bay to the Jets up here. And I'll tell you right now, if that game is for make the playoffs, they'll move that to a Sunday night. It'll probably be 15 degrees.
Wait, do we play Buffalo in Buffalo at the end of the season, or are we playing them
Week
in
9,
Buffalo? So both of the games for Buffalo are out of the way by the time.
they play the Jets. Yes.
So all the Buffalo and both Jets games are around the same time.
No, Buffalo's games are week 2 in Miami and week 9 in Buffalo.
How about the Jets? Because I think they're
Week 14 down there, week 18 here.
so that's what I mean. At the end of the season, the Jets game, the Patriots games, and the Bills games are going to be done by the time we get to the Jets. Because I think
Yep.
it's the oddest thing with me with the AFC East. I've never seen it like how the AFC North always has their games, the majority of their games at the end of the season. Like it's their division games are back to back the last few weeks of the season. You never see that with the AFC East.
I agree.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. That boy is here. You and him can talk.
Hey
I'll
Vader,
be
what
back.
up?
Come on, right now. There we go. You two can talk.
Yo Vader, what up?
My bad. What's going on, man? We was talking up a storm last night, so you got it, man. Ugh.
Yeah.
I know you was trying to get in on the convo. What's
Yeah.
good with you?
Yeah. No, that was an interesting combo last night.
Yeah, it was.
I left as soon as you guys started talking anime because I'm not a big fan of anime.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
No doubt.
Oh, what I was asking you in the chat last night, did you guys answer that question about Call of Duty?
Oh, no, not yet.
Oh, what I was asking is, as do you think that game series can work live action, or there's a ton of movies that basically copy the same, like that already out that copy the same premise
I
already?
don't know. I mean, it could. Doom works live action, kind of, but it'd be hard to do,
Yeah.
especially as a first-person shooter. Right? That's what makes Halo so difficult, really. I mean, they can do it, but
I think, and I said this with Borderlands last night. What hurt Borderlands 2 is there's certain things in that game that only work, like narratively only work as a video game,
right,
not live action. I think that's another thing that, besides the story, I think there's certain concepts in that game that only work as a video game, not live action.
yeah,
That's why I think, to me, I think the only game that's successful, I think the only two games that are going to be successful live action are God of War and Last of Us. Last of Us. Have you
yeah.
seen that series?
I've seen some of it. It's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the only two. For me, those are the only two games, in my honest opinion, because they're story driven, can work live action.
Yeah,
Games like Borderlands don't really have a story
right.
to
That and I
justify.
was talking. I can't wait to see Metal Gear live action. Like I'm in anticipation of it.
Wait, Metal Gear Solid is
Yeah,
going to be live action? Is
they're
it a movie
trying.
or?
They're trying. Yeah, they're trying to get a movie franchise started.
I think Metal Gear would work better as a TV show because I think there's certain things that in that game that work better as a long form storytelling instead of condensing it into 2 hours.
I would agree with you on that.
And I think that's what hurt. I think Borderlands is a game that works better as a TV show than a movie because
I
I
would
think,
agree with you on that.
yeah, I think that's what hurt Borderlands too. If you had that as a TV show, I think it would have been more successful.
Right. Agreed.
So me and Mace were talking about like the to me the I don't know what it is with certain divisions of the NFL. The N.F.C. North, the AFC North. I like how they set up their schedule. That the majority of their games are at the end of the season, like their division games. Like it's back to back. Like from weeks, I think it's from week 12 to week 17. Usually, when it was 17 games, it was always all their division games out of the like.
It creates good drama, but it sucks for fans though. I personally don't like it. I hate it actually, but it creates good drama, so that's why they do it.
Oh, why do you hate that?
Because you never know what's going to happen. You could be injury riddled. You can be a mass unit by the end of the year. By the time you get to the conference games, and now you're fucked.
And don't forget, you guys have in that air from 10. You guys have cold weather that in the like at the end of the when you guys have your games. If you guys have all your games, you're playing the majority of your games in cold weather.
Right. That's another factor. Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I agree with Mace. The game that scares me with the Dolphins is Cleveland. It's going to be 3 degrees with a negative 15-degree wind chill coming off the river.
Yeah.
Is that are both stadiums on the Ohio River?
Oh, Cleveland is on Lake Erie.
No, that's what I'm saying. Are they both on Lake Erie?
No, you mean Cincinnati? Cincinnati's on the Ohio River.
Oh, both stadiums for the pro teams are on the Ohio River?
Or no, well, Cleveland is Lake Erie, Cincinnati is the Ohio River. They're both close to water though.
No, that's what I'm asking. Are both the pro teams for baseball and and
Okay. I don't know about Cleveland's. No, Cleveland's baseball stadium
no,
is
I'm
a
talking
little bit.
about the Reds are both teams on the river.
Yes, both stadiums are on the is on the banks. Yes, we call it the banks down here. Yes, both stadiums are close to the water.
And the same thing for is a college team's stadium on the river too?
No, the college stadium, this UC stadium, is on campus, which is more uptown.
Okay. So the only two teams that are on the river are the Reds and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and like I said, and I told also the game that scares me the most, the two games that worry the most are Cleveland and we're going to be going up to Green Bay in the middle of on Thanksgiving, and that game is going to be already like my friend who lives around that area, like Cincinnati, Wisconsin, Ohio, and stuff. He says that by the time Miami gets up to Wisconsin, it's going to be -degree weather.
It might be. Dolphins look like they're in for a time this year. That's why I was trying to ask Mace who we got winning the AFC East this year. Who you got winning the AFC this year? AFC East. Mazzano?
Sorry, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. It makes me sick as a Dolphins fan saying this, but I have the Jets winning that division.
The Jets, huh? Okay. Surprising. Nobody has faith in Buffalo. Okay. I don't either.
No, I have faith in Buffalo, but like they're a great. I've said this. They're a great regular season team. I think I say the Jets win, but I have a weird feeling that the Bills are going to win that division. Until proven otherwise, it's the Bills division. You agree?
In previous seasons, I would say that. This season, I'm not so sure. He has nobody. Who is he throwing to? I don't know not one Josh Allen receiver. Who is he throwing to?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You think he? And I can't remember. I think I've said we were talking about Patrick Mahomes earlier too, and I was gonna say this before Uncle went on mute. Patrick Mahomes is gonna have this Aaron Rodgers mentality when he was in Green Bay at the last portions of his career with Green Bay, where he didn't have the patience because he wanted to win playoff games to develop young receivers. I think you're starting to see that with Patrick too, where you saw him yelling at his young receivers during the season.
Yeah.
And did you see during the playoff game in in Kansas City where he was yelling at, I think it was Marquez Scantling?
Yeah, I've seen all of that.
Yeah, Patrick is having
with Scanling, I think Snead was offsides that one play, man. He was pissed about that.
The only actual weapon that he can trust is Kelsey. If Kelsey gets shut down, who else can Patrick Mahomes trust on that receiving corps?
That rookie they drafted, though, they said I keep hearing they real big on him.
What's his name?
I forget his name. He's supposed to be almost as fast as Tyreek or something crazy.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. The kid from Kentucky or something like. He's like from Kentucky or something.
I'm pretty sure.
Who are your division winners?
My division winners. I actually got Miami, man, winning the East.
You have faith in Tua to actually show up at the end of the season?
Yes. Now the playoffs is going to be That's a different story.
No,
But
our
I got him.
schedule
I got
at
him
the
winning.
end of the season is crazy, dude. Most of our games are in cold weather.
Yeah.
Besides the Jets game at home, the other games are up in cold weather.
Okay.
Oh wait, and Houston. My mistake. We play Houston at the end of the season too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
Okay.
I still got Miami winning these. I got faith in them.
Who do you have winning? Do you have your Bengals winning the AFC North?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Just barely.
I got Joe being an MVP candidate, so even winning it. So
who do you have winning the AFC South?
it's Houston's. It's Houston's to lose to further notice.
The AFC West, the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs. I want to say the Chargers, but I'm going Chiefs.
You don't think Jim Harbaugh can win the division right away?
Not right away. That's gonna be a tall ask, especially with installing a new offense and Herbert got to get comfortable in it, and it's gonna take a minute. So
honestly, I told it to me. I think it's gonna benefit Herbert having play action because honestly, that spread offense to me hindered Herbert's development just a little bit because catering. I understand catering to quarterback, but to the extreme that Staley was doing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, someone asked, and by the way, that boy, you woke. I'm sorry I fell asleep on you guys last night.
Oh no, you good, huh? You good.
But you know, when you start talking that NBA, I check out.
No doubt.
Who wins the AFC East for me? I got Miami winning the division.
Okay.
Wait, I thought you said you had the Jets.
No, I said the Jets got to prove it, man. Well, if the Jets are 7-4 when they get their bye, they could win the division because they got Miami twice. And if you want my honest opinion, they match up as well as anybody against anybody. The Jets are an AFC North team. They play power football. They got one of the all-time greats at quarterback, the kid from Ohio State. What's his name? Wilson? That's his name, the wide receiver?
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson.
I think this year he's going to explode. And then one more kicker. Every time Ian O'Connor writes a book about somebody, that team has a monster year. Jeter got his 3,000 hit on a home run. Belichick won 3 more Super Bowls after he did the Belichick book. I forgot who he did the book about the Masters, and that golfer went on to win. And this one now.
Didn't O'Connor do a book on Peyton Manning?
No. But the next book he's gonna do is on Jalen Brunson, who is, and I said this last night, he is a bigger star in New York than Derek Jeter can ever. Than Aaron Judge can ever be.
Oh, wait a minute! You stopped yourself. You almost said bigger star than Derek Jeter.
Yeah, that's why I stopped myself.
No, I don't think any sports athlete is ever going to be bigger than Jeter in New York.
That's not true. Mark Messier predicted that they will come back from 3-2 down and win Game 6, and they did. They went on to win the Cup. Bigger than Derek Jeter. Joe Namath will always be bigger than Derek Jeter.
Oh, yeah, Mr. I predicted. Mr. I walk in the locker on the Super Bowl field with a mink coat.
Yep. One more. I just had him on my mind. Well, Willis Reed's a bigger star than Derek Jeter.
Oh, Willie Reed?
Willis Reed, yeah. He came out there and gave.
Yeah, didn't he cut?
What about Clyde?
Yeah, to the Knicks fan, yeah. My mother,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Clyde's a big star now. He's an icon.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, boy, I was
Wait,
about to say that.
I thought Clyde Drexler was
No, Clyde Frazier, Tony.
oh, when you I the Clyde I always think about is Clyde Drexler.
Eli Manning is a bigger star than Derek Jeter.
Yeah, because he beat the Patriots twice.
Yep.
Of course.
That's it. Yep.
Strahan is a bigger star.
I'm with you. No, he's not. I'm with you, that boy. I don't think anybody beats Houston.
Anybody beats who?
I don't think anybody beats Houston, bro.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Houston winning the AFC South.
If the Bengals had number 83, okay, I know now. If they
Boyd.
still had Taj Boyd, I would
Yeah.
say Cincinnati's the team to beat. They are going to miss Taj Boyd. I'll talk about that for tonight.
Boy, and I really think we're gonna miss Mixon too, man. He's gonna be super motivated in Houston, man.
Yeah. Joe Mixon, yeah. Yeah.
I think the AFC North is Baltimore's division to lose, to be honest.
Nah, I don't like Baltimore. And, that boy's not going to like what I'm going to say either. It's Cleveland's division to lose.
Wait, you don't think with them having Derrick Henry, you don't think they're gonna have a more consistent overall running game instead of just relying on
They will,
Lamar?
but I'd rather have my passing game with Burrow than Baltimore. Baltimore, I'm going to be honest about this, and I'm going to talk about this Tuesday evening. I'm going to do the Ravens. To me, Baltimore's played out. What has Derrick Henry done in Tennessee? And to me, Tennessee.
I blame Tennessee for not having a quarterback for Derrick Henry, really.
I don't know, Tannehill.
Isn't Henry a 2,000-yard rusher?
Yeah, but
when,
so. Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is when you have to be relied upon your whole career when the team didn't really have a passing game consistently, I kind of feel like I understand why they did it, but let's be honest. I can understand why Derek was pissed and he left because
they got rid of him, Tony, because they want to go to a 4-wide passing game to show off Will Levis's arms.
Levis, man, that's Levis's team. Then
That team's scary, bro.
I like Tennessee.
I can't wait to see them against Green Bay week 3 and then the rematch with the Dolphins week 4. Looking forward to that. Yeah, again, going back to the Dolphins, they have to win a playoff game. It comes down to that. I mean, there's just a lot of numbers because they was killing this guy the other day on ESPN. Stephen A. was killing Mike McDaniel. He has no respect.
Yeah. For me, like I said, Uncle, I have the Jets winning the division, but to me, it's still Buffalo's division to lose. But I'm starting to agree with Vader that I would say that the past couple of years, but they've lost too much. Too much.
2 years ago, the Bengals went up there in the snow and beat them. I said Buffalo's done.
Yeah, and it looks like it, man. Who is Allen throwing to?
Keon Carpenter, remember him?
Who?
North State's best receiver last year.
They have like Dawson Knox, and they have their 2 tight ends that they have, but I agree he has no receivers, really.
Yeah, Scantling.
Oh, Scantling is in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I thought
he used to be with the Bills. I mean, he used to be with the Steelers. He was a headache guy. The guy was a pain in the ass.
Robinson, Dante Robinson.
Nah, then he went to the Bears. And then
Uh,
last year he wore number.
The only head case that I remember was AB from the.
DJ Moore.
Nah, Moore is good. He went to Chicago, and
Okay.
then last year he was like the fourth receiver in Miami.
Oh my God! I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
He's the number one receiver now.
Wow. Man, Allen's gonna be running for his life all year. It's gonna be a shit show in Buffalo, man.
I totally agree.
Who do you guys have winning the AFC NFC West?
I'm gonna go with the Niners, but I could see the Rams.
Would you be shocked if a team like Seattle pops out of nowhere and wins that division?
I would.
Well, I was listening to them the last week and a half. You know, I did the Seahawks a week and a half ago. They really believe they have the Legion of Boom 2.4. I mean 2.0.
Yeah, they have Tyreek Woolen. Who's their other guy? Their other corner? I forgot the kids. They drafted him recently. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
And then they have their two safeties. But the person they really need to replace is Bobby Wagner.
Seattle feels that they're the type of team nobody can score on them. We'll find out.
Uncle, I asked Vader this question. I want your answer. Do you think it's too soon? Can you see the Chargers winning the AFC West over this year, or do you think it's too soon, like Vader said?
What about the Chargers?
Can you see them winning the division this year with Harbaugh, or do you think it's too soon?
Too soon.
He still
how could you not like the Chiefs with all that speed Mahomes now have?
It's gonna be rough for the Chargers this year. Trying to win a division. I see him in the playoff hunt. Wild card.
Definitely see him in the playoff.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be the first wild card team, to be honest. One of the first wild card teams.
Okay, do you believe Jim Harbaugh can win with pounding ground?
Huh?
Do you believe Jim Harbaugh can win a Super Bowl with pound and ground? That means playing power football.
That's beneficial for them when they get into the playoffs, because Harbaugh has gone to the Super Bowl multiple times, but he hasn't won it.
But you do know, and Dak Boy will agree with this, that the Jets play that way. Everybody in the AFC North plays that way except the Bengals. And yeah.
Whose division is it? Like for the North, the NFC North? Do you guys have the Packers winning that division or the Vikings? Who do you have winning that division?
I got the Lions.
Lions.
I think Packers are a year away. Lions.
NFC South?
Tampa.
I have New Orleans.
And I'll
Really?
say right now.
New Orleans.
And well, if you was here the other night, let me bring this up, Tony. If you was here the other night.
No, the NFC North to NFC South to me is a weird division. I think that division is going to be won by a team that's one game over 500.
I think Tampa Bay is a lot better than
Do you agree with me, Mace?
I think Tampa Bay is a lot better than you think. reason why I did Mike Evans last night. He is the Hall of Famer nobody talks about.
And Baker's really settling into his career right now. So it's definitely a different Baker we're seeing.
He is.
I like Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Mike Evans is a lock for Canton, bro. He could retire right now, and he'll go to Canton first ballot. Chase Claypool's the number one receiver in Buffalo.
Ah, okay. Wow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. The kid that the Dolphins traded for, we only gave up like a 7th round pick or something.
Yeah.
Wow. The irritation, Chase Claypool. That's hilarious, man. Buffalo is in trouble.
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
They relied on Chase Claypool to carry that wide receiver core. That's hilarious.
So you guys have the Jets being the wild card team out of the AFC East, you think?
I don't know. Like I said, if they're 7-4 going to Miami after their bye, I can see them coming out of the AFC East as a wild card.
What? Wait. So our home game against the Jets is before the one on the road?
Yeah, the first one is week 14 in Miami. The second one is the last game of the year up here, which will be cold that night. Oh, that day.
And those AFC wildcard spots, it's going to be a traffic jam, man. Straight up, man. Chargers, Jets, Baltimore, Cleveland got something to say about it. Oh, man.
I think the AFC, other than the Chiefs and the Texans, I think the AFC is going to be rough.
It's about like. But I agree with you. Besides Houston and the Chiefs, every team in the middle, like from 3 to 10, are about even.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at that, if the Bengals can put it together, the Bengals can come out of the AFC because they've done it before and they won in Kansas City. And the second time in Kansas City was a bullshit call that cost them the game.
And
Right.
For me, Joe needs to stay healthy a little bit more
A little
consistent.
bit.
A lot of bit.
Yeah. Because this may be the last time you see these Bengals guys together.
Right.
That's why tonight's show, later tonight, we're going to talk about, like I said,
You think they might have to trade Jamar Chase?
no, they're going to give Chase the money.
Right. It'll be Higgins. Higgins is the odd man out.
Yep. The only way I could see Mr. Brown keeping him if they win the Super Bowl and he made the game-winning catch. He did that, Mike Brown will reward him.
See, to me, that's the receiver. Instead of getting Claypool, to be honest, I think that's the receiver the Bills should have looked at because there was issue last offseason. There was rumors that they were trying to trade him.
Yeah.
The highest paid free agent next month.
Higgins?
You're damn right. There'll be 25 teams lined up for T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him with Higgins with what's his face in Houston, CJ?
Yeah, but they already got 3 guys. Oh yeah. They could replace Diggs because Diggs wants to go play with his brother with the Cowboys, so they could replace Diggs with T. Higgins. Yeah, they could.
Which doesn't make any sense because to me, that's the whole reason why they traded Mixon is to make cap room for Higgins. So to get rid of him only would invalidate that. It makes sense to a Bengals fan, but it's horrible.
Yeah, no, like Paul Brown, I don't know what it is with the gentleman, like the ownership.
Mike Brown?
Yeah, with Brown. I don't know what his like. There's a weird thing with like the Bengals ownership that they do the weirdest things. They trade a player to open up cap room like a Mixon or let him walk, but then they decide to trade. They wanted to trade Higgins.
No, they're gonna let Higgins walk. You know how much is going to be the price tag for Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase, I think, is going to break the record for the highest paid receiver. He's going to overlap. He's going to. Who's the highest paid receiver now? Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
I think he's going to break that.
And I'll say it's going to be T. Higgins.
You think it's going to be Higgins, not Chase?
Yes.
I mean, Chase might have it for a year. He might be the highest paid, but once Higgins get his money, it's over.
So, to me, I don't think Tony knows how good his T. Higgins.
No, I know how Higgins. No, I know how good Higgins is. I don't think Brown understands his value because of the rumors. Like all the stuff that happened last offseason that they were saying that he was going to be traded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'll put it to you this way.
Honestly, and I like Higgins. He's like, I don't know where they have this. Like I don't know what. I have Bengals fans that live around me in Sarasota, and they compare him to like his personality to CJ, Chad Johnson. Ocho.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you agree with that or not really?
Kind of.
That boy can answer that. I'm not really like in Bengal Central like
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, he kind of like.
But Ocho,
Ocho is way more outgoing. Like what you see with this, like the Bengals teams of like the early 2000s, they were loud. This one, not so much.
Yeah,
or as Uncle called them, the penitentiary.
Right.
Right.
The pen gals.
I was around that group a lot. Okay, I was around that group a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure, honestly, for me, Pac-Man Jones, I'm surprised he lasted in the league as long as he did. Besides his talent, the guy had serious character issues.
Why do you think he ended up in Cincinnati for 8 years?
Yes, exactly.
Do you think Belichick would have allowed him?
And he's on Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Do you think Pac-Man
for a while there?
Do you think Pac-Man would have lasted in New England?
Hell no. No.
Why do you say that?
Because Belichick is light years different from Marvin Lewis.
Or my mistake. How about him with Rex Ryan with the Jets?
Yes, that will work. Yeah.
I think Pac-Man needs a coach that's as brash as he is, like very arrogant.
If Pac-Man, and this is going to shock you, if he was on the Packers back with Charles Woodson and those guys, and he's making big interceptions, he would have retired as a Packer.
But you think McCarthy would have allowed that person?
If he is making big interceptions like he did at times, Tony, he would have retired a Packer.
Oh, okay. No, because
he was on that championship team too.
Yeah, no. The reason why I'm asking that is because there was rumors that he was a cancer in the locker room. Like,
no one cares.
Right.
No. For me, the reason why I say the Jets would be the perfect place for him because he's as brash as a guy like Rex Ryan, or do you think their personalities will clash way too much because they're basically the same person?
Something like that, but Pac-Man is more of he's more of a brother's brother, man.
Can you imagine him on the
Pac-Man?
How about the Cowboys? How about the Cowboys?
Yeah, Jerry Jones would have took care of Pac.
Honestly, it would have been cool to see him on the Dolphins.
No, they would never, especially with Joe Philbin there, they would never touch Pac-Man. No.
They already had Ocho down there.
See, the difference is, Tony, who's coaching you? And how is your team doing? Those Bengal teams every year was going 10-6, 11-5, so they tolerated Pac-Man. And I'm going to say it again, Pac-Man made huge plays.
Yes, he did.
I meant to bring up the Chiefs. How about the Chiefs with Alex Smith?
No, Andy Reid don't like Pac-Man jokes.
Andy would have constantly been getting in arguments with him. You think?
Andy wouldn't even give him a call. It's not Andy's type of player.
On defense? Because didn't he have a great...
Andy likes good, clean guys. He don't like no... Oh, I'm going to clean this up. He don't like no brother in the middle of the street shooting dice.
Right.
Would a Pac-Man have worked with guys like in the Legion of Boom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. You would have been the nickel guy.
That would be... No one would be like if Pac-Man was with Brandon Browner and Sherman on the outside.
Yeah, and with Adams back behind him, man, that's ridiculous, man.
Marshawn would have checked him too.
Tyshawn?
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch would have checked Pac-Man.
Bobby Wagner would have gotten in his face.
Yeah, Earl Thomas, yeah. But I'm going to say it again, Tony. Pac-Man made big plays. You do that in any sport, you're going to stick around.
And that's why Marvin Lewis kept him around so long, even though he was off the field headache.
Room, but you know, that's who Pac-Man is.
My favorite player around that time for the Bengals was Chris Henry.
I'm gonna leave that alone. God bless the dead. I'm gonna leave that alone because the weight passed away, which is to this day to me.
No, my mistake. The running back around that time. Damn it. Was it Gio Bernard?
Yeah, he was there. Chris Benson was there. Yeah. Corey Dillon was traded to New England.
Right.
Get his 2 chips.
They won a Super Bowl, man. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
I'm sure. Honestly, do you think Chad would have like Chad? I think TJ Houshmandzadeh, being that he's more like he's not as outgoing. I think he would, between him and Chad Johnson, I think he would have done well in New England with Tom Brady.
Didn't they try that? Wasn't Ocho in New England for a minute?
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about TJ would have worked way better.
Yes, I agree.
Because TJ is not as like
TJ wasn't a problem.
Right.
He's not a problem. He's a good guy.
And he actually understands offense.
TJ, what's up, Cap? Mike White, Jody Forston released. Hey, good for the Dolphins. You know my motto, Cap. Win a playoff game.
Yeah. No. That's why I'm. Personality-wise, I think Ocho Cinco's personality wouldn't have like I don't know why Bill Belichick
You love TJ.
even signed him. No, I'm
TJ's
no,
a hell of a player, bro. I always like Houston's on him.
Yeah.
no. I'm talking about like personality wise, like Chad Johnson was a weird fit in New England, in my honest opinion, because I don't think he would have honestly. There was reports him and Tom Brady would constantly get in arguments during practice because CJ would want the ball way too much.
You mean Chad? TJ never played for the.
No, I call him CJ. I say CJ because that's his first name and last name.
Ocho didn't. He didn't understand that offense in New England. That's what the problem. He's not. He's not a. Ocho was never a pure route runner to begin with, and when he got in New England, it exposed him.
Yeah, he was a go route receiver.
Yes.
I'll tell you the truth. Where would the Bengals be right now as a franchise without Chad Johnson? He was the one who gave them their name.
Yeah.
What, 13-0? He predicted when they get to Cincinnati, they was going to get the ass whooped, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
See, Chad Johnson, like personality wise, I think he would have done well in Dallas with Jerry.
Of course. He would have done great in Miami because Miami will have a mouthpiece. Yo, if you want Tua Tagovailoa over as your mouthpiece, you guys are bad.
Yeah, and
The only thing I see in Dallas with Ocho is that he liked to talk too. That might irritate Jerry after a while.
That is true. That is very, very true. What you just said.
Indeed, Cap. No more excuses. I like Miami this year.
Yeah, I know you like them a lot.
I like
Again, for me, exactly, Cap. There you go. No more excuses. Yep, Lace, you damn right. Hell yeah. Facts. You're right. I'm tired of hearing these fanboys in their rooms talking about their Super Bowl this and their garbage. Win a playoff.
playoff
They
game.
like
Sure.
I said, and I'm a man of my word. They win a playoff game up here, it's gonna be totally different. It's gonna be like the way it was 3 years ago, Cap. When I'll be doing nothing but Dolphins up here, they win a playoff game come spring. Yep, it's true. You pumped up for tonight, man?
Say it again.
You pumped up for tonight? You guys are on the spotlight tonight, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm giving you the platform. Me and you gonna be talking Bengals tonight.
No doubt. No doubt. It's gonna be good. I can't wait
Definitely
to
got
see it.
playoffs.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
make it too. I think the Bengals, if they stay healthy, keep the quarterback,
Right.
they can go deep. One of
They
the
definitely.
teams, by the way, in my opinion, that can beat Houston and Kansas City.
Mhm. Yeah, they definitely can. Again, it just man that healthy part. That's the big $1 million question, man. But I don't know who their medical staff is, man. I would fly the best doctors for this year, man.
That would be our show.
Physicians.
No, bad. Bad.
I would say the best doctors, physicians, man, strength and conditioning coaches. Man, I would fly in the best ones for the year, man. Okay.
That will be our show tonight, folks. Where do the Bengals go from here? Where do they go from here? Where do they go from here, Cincinnati? Where do you go from here? The Bengals are one of these teams, folks. It's going to sound crazy to you. They'll either win the Super Bowl or we're going to be looking at a new look Bengal offense next year. What's your comments about that?
I completely agree. It's gonna take it's gonna take something drastic like winning the Super Bowl, man, to keep everybody there. I absolutely agree with that.
Folks, they lost the quarterback last year. 2 years ago, they lost the championship game. 3 years ago, they won the AFC. This team is right at the precipice, folks. And we'll talk about it deep and long later tonight because, to me, of the AFC teams, this team and the Jets can get out of the AFC. I don't think Kansas City is going to go back to the boat.
I think so either.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to the boat.
Everybody gunning for him.
Yeah, that, and I think, again, to beat the Chiefs, you have to have firepower with firepower. And only two teams have it. Cincy, Houston. And
Yeah.
I'm throwing one more. Don't let Tennessee get into this mix.
Right. Yeah.
That is some shit. Tennessee coming age.
Yeah. If they take one off of Houston, that'd be something.
Let me see what weeks they play. Let me get this up here.
That'd be really something. They take one off of Houston.
Totally agree with you. Let me get this team up here. N.F.C. Where's the Titans at? Remember the Titans? Where they are? I got Green Bay going up there. I'm going to do that game, their home opener in Nashville, week 3.
Okay.
I think they're so underrated, man.
They are. You said that's week 3?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Nashville. All right, Thanksgiving weekend is the first time they play the Texans, and the game is in Houston. They play the Bengals December the 15th. That's a big NFL day, by the way, because you see all the teams playing that day against each other.
The 15th?
Say again?
You said the 15th?
Yeah, in Nashville.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Especially with our man, with everybody that came from Cincinnati, man, to Tennessee. That's gonna be intense.
And the last game of the year, Tennessee plays home for the Texans. So they play the Texans they play them twice from Thanksgiving weekend on.
And the Titans don't sound like they got a little tough little schedule there.
They sure do. Like them makes the NFL beautiful. That I expect you up here 6:30, 6:35 to talk that team right there, your Cincinnati Bengals.
No doubt, I'll be here
You have a great afternoon, family.
as well.
See you guys 6:30 tonight for the Bengals. That's right, the Bengals.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, everybody. See you at 6:30 Eastern Time. Cap for life. Thank you, Larry H. Thank you, Dad Boy. Thank you. See you guys later. Tony Manziel.